Dear students, hello and welcome. Today our topic will be the theory of multiple intelligence. The objectives of the lecture include to know about the nature of multiple intelligences, to know about logical, mathematical and linguistic intelligences, to understand spatial and musical intelligences, to understand bodily, kinesthetic and intrapersonal intelligences, to be familiar with interpersonal, existential and naturalistic intelligence. Dear students, Howard Gardner, an American psychologist, propounded the famous theory of multiple intelligences in his 1983 book titled Frames of Mind. He in fact broadened the definition of intelligence by providing several distinct types of intellectual competencies. He developed his theory of multiple intelligences as a direct challenge to what he calls the classical view of intelligence as a capacity for logical reasoning. For him, intelligence is much more than IQ and cannot be viewed as a single entity. He proposed that there are different types of intelligences which are independent of each other. Gardner calls these abilities as independent on the account that each ability is relatively autonomous intellectual potentialities capable of functioning independently of others. Different people may be having varied combinations of these intelligences. This theory thus challenged the traditional notion that there is one single type of intelligence called as G for general intelligence, which only focuses on one's cognitive abilities. He concluded that there is not just one underlying mental capacity or G, but a variety of intelligences that work in combination. Gardner has defined intelligence as a biopsychological potential to process information that can be activated in a cultural setting to solve problems or create products that are of value in a culture. Initially, Howard Gardner proposed 8 types of intelligences, namely linguistic intelligence, logical mathematical, spatial intelligence, bodily, kinesthetic, musical, interpersonal and intrapersonal intelligence, naturalist intelligence. Later on, he added one more type, that is existential intelligence. Gardner views that each individual possesses such varied types of intelligences and each one is talented in unique ways. Howard Gardner is of the view that these 7 independent types of intelligences grow and develop differently in different people depending upon their hereditary characteristics or environmental experiences. Genetically, every individual has the capacity to exhibit these different types of intelligences as per the demands of the situations. However, the environmental opportunities play a crucial role in deciding the prominence of a particular kind of intelligence in different individuals. Thus, the utility and value of each type of intelligence, according to Howard Gardner, is culturally determined. He is of the opinion that individuals' intelligent performance is determined according to the usefulness and demands of society. Hence, one type of intelligence highly valued in a particular type of society may be having little significance in another one. Howard Gardner defines intelligence as the ability to solve problems or fashion products that are of consequence in a particular culture, setting, or community. It is because of these diverse human abilities that human beings adopt different roles as physicist, farmer, and dancer, etc. Hence, the 7 distinct types of intelligences are independent of one another and each operate as a separate system in the brain according to its own. According to Howard Gardner, the different intelligences come from different areas of the brain. Howard Gardner, like L. Thurston's ideas of primary mental abilities, gave different types of intelligences, but these theories differ from each other. Thurston asserted that the mental functions he identified collectively constitute intelligence, but Gardner declares that each factor is itself an intelligence. According to Howard Gardner, when we talk about intelligence in terms of considering Thurston's primary abilities, mental abilities, which constitute spatial ability, perceptual speed, numerical ability, verbal meaning, memory, verbal fluency, and inductive reasoning, we typically are focusing on a very narrow range of logico-mathematical abilities. Keeping this fact in mind, he has developed his own theory of multiple intelligences, each of which he values as highly traditional conceptions of intelligence. Howard Gardner's theory is based on 3 principles. Number 1, intelligence is not a single or unitary entity, rather, there exist multiple intelligences, each one distinct from others. Number 2, the intelligences are independent of each other. Persons good in one type of intelligence does not guarantee that they are equally good in other types of intelligences. Number 3, different types of intelligences work together to provide a solution to problems. Gardner has so far proposed 9 intelligences. However, all the individuals do not possess them in equal proportion. The particular situation or the context decides the prominence of one type of intelligence over the others. Dear students, now let us discuss the 9 types of intelligences as propounded by Howard Gardner. The first one is linguistic intelligence. Linguistic intelligence refers to the ability to use language in a secular way. It is related to reading, writing, listening, talking, and understanding, etc. This type of intelligence deals with sensitivity of a person to the spoken and written language, ability to learn languages, and capacity to use language to accomplish certain goals. This type of human intelligence is responsible for all types of linguistic competence, abilities, talents, and skills available in human beings. It can be best broken down into components like syntax, semantics, and pragmatics, as well as more school-oriented skills such as written or oral expression and understanding. People can be very good in using words and language to express themselves. If they possess high verbal linguistic intelligence, these are the people who can use language fluently, flexibly, and creatively. They are in a position to learn various languages easily. The category of people who belong to poets, writers, lawyers, lyricists, journalists, teachers, politicians, Philosophers and speakers are very strong in this component of intelligence. Poets exhibit this ability better than others. There are people with linguistic intelligence like Robert Frost, William Wordsworth, William Shakespeare, Gulzar, R.K. Narayan, Chetan Bhagat, who have an ability to analyze information and create products involving oral and written language such as speeches, books and memos, etc. Such category of people are beautifully labeled as word smart. Dear students, now there is logical mathematical intelligence. Logical mathematical intelligence refers to the capacity of an individual that helps him or her to analyze problems logically, carry out mathematical operations and investigate issues scientifically. This type of intelligence is responsible for all types of abilities, talents, skills in areas related to logic and mathematics. It involves the components of deductive reasoning, inductive reasoning, scientific thinking, including solving of logical puzzles, carrying out calculations, etc. Hence, this type of intelligence deals with abstract reasoning and manipulation of symbols involved in numerical problems. It is exhibited in scientific work. Individuals who are high on this intelligence possess good abstract reasoning and critical thinking. They are found good in dealing with numbers. This type of intelligence is found to correlate well with the traditional notion of intelligence. There are people like scientists, engineers, statisticians, mathematicians, accountant physicists and economists who are found to exhibit logical mathematical intelligence in abundance. These categories of people are found good in mathematics, calculations, numbers and computer programming. Personalities like Albert Einstein, Archimedes and C.V. Raman, etc. are real examples of people high in these types of intelligence. Such people are generally called as number or reasoning smart. Students, now let us understand what is spatial intelligence. Spatial intelligence refers to the capacity of an individual to perceive, understand and use spatial and visual information effectively. It is used while navigating in space, forming, transforming and using mental images. People who possess this type of intelligence are good in spatial orientation, forming visual images and patterns. These people are good at remembering images, figures, faces, fine details and visualize things from different angles. People like architects, painters, interior designers, surgeons, graphic artists, pilots, drivers, sculptors, engineers and sailors do possess high visual and spatial intelligence. We observe painters demonstrating spatial intelligence through their use of space when applying pigments to a canvas. Dear students, now let us understand the bodily kinesthetic intelligence. Bodily kinesthetic intelligence refers to the ability of an individual to use and control one's body, movements and actions. Terming it differently, this type of intelligence is concerned with the set of abilities, talents and skills involving in using one's body to perform skillful and purposeful movements. It requires the skills and dexterity for fine coordinated motor movements, such as those required for dancing, athletics, surgery, craft making, etc. The categories of people like dancers and sports person are usually high in exhibiting such type of intelligence. Dancers and athletes may be seen to demonstrate a high degree of bodily kinesthetic intelligence in their respective fields. It is also required in surgery and crafts making as it involves skills and dexterity of fine motor movements. Those people who are high in bodily kinesthetic intelligence can become good athletes, actors, sports persons, acrobats, yoga practitioners, police officers, soldiers, physical therapists, etc. These people are often called as body smart. Now, students, let's understand the other type of intelligence, that is musical intelligence. Musical intelligence refers to the ability helping an individual to use rhythms, sounds and patterns to create, compose and perform music. It involves the abilities, talents and skills pertaining to the field of music. Terming it differently, it involves sensitivity to music and the ability to recognize and manipulate musical patterns. The categories of people who possess high musical intelligence are likely to be singers, music composers, instrumentalists and musicians. This type of intelligence is visible in abundance among such professionals. These people have an ability to recognize and create musical pitch, rhythm, timbre and tune. They show sensitivity to pitch and tune required for singing, playing an instrument, composing and appreciating music, etc. Now, interpersonal intelligence. This type of intelligence refers to the ability to understand others and social interactions. It requires understanding motives, feelings and behaviors of other people. It includes the abilities which help a person to understand other individuals and the relations he or she is having with them. This knowledge and understanding of others is the true quality that is very much needed for social interactions in one's day-to-day life. People with high interpersonal intelligence can understand the emotions and the perspectives of others and relate well to others. They have effective communication skills and hence are able to establish good interpersonal relationships with others. They show sensitivity and empathic understanding towards others. This type of intelligence is seen in abundance among social workers, managers, psychologists, nurses, counselors, politicians, leaders, teachers, salespeople, and clinicians, psychotherapists, religious leaders, reformers, and spiritual gurus. People high on interpersonal intelligence have an ability to recognize and understand other people's moods, desires, motivations, and intentions. This category of people is well known as people smart. Now, dear students, let's try to understand the other type of intelligence, that is intrapersonal intelligence. Intrapersonal intelligence refers to the ability helping an individual to recognize and understand his or her own moods, desires, motivations and intentions. It involves awareness about one's strengths, limitations, goals and ambitions in life. This type of intelligence involves one's introspective and self-reflective capacities. It is related to understanding oneself and developing a sense of identity. Thus, Intrapersonal intelligence helps an individual to understand his own self by providing an insight into his total behavior, that is, what he feels, thinks or does. This type of intelligence is considered as the most private of the intelligences that a person can possess. Owing to its private nature, this type of intelligence is available only through an individual's self-expression in the form of language, visual arts, etc. People possessing such intelligence are usually introverted, intuitive type. They love to work alone and are least affected by any external events. The category of people who possess strong interpersonal intelligence include psychologists, spiritual leaders, philosophers, therapists, counselors, entrepreneurs, saints, clergy and writers. They are generally called as self-smart people. Now, there is naturalist intelligence. Naturalistic intelligence refers to the ability helping people to recognize and understand the various patterns in nature. This type of intelligence involves sensitivity to the nature with all its features, including flora, fauna, and all the biodiversity. Howard Gardner has added this eighth type of intelligence to his original 7 intelligences. People who possess such intelligence appreciate the beauty of nature and the subtle aspects of nature. The category of people who are high in this aspect of intelligence include hunters, farmers, tourists, bird watchers, botanists, biologists, meteorologists, students of biological sciences, geologists and gardeners, etc. People who are high in naturalistic intelligence have an ability to identify and distinguish among different types of plants, animals and weather formations found in the natural world. Students, the best example of a person with high naturalistic intelligence is Charles Darwin, a naturalist best known for his contribution to the science of evolution with his famous book, The Origin of Species. Now students, let us understand the last one, that is the existential intelligence. Existential intelligence refers to the sensitivity and capacity of a person to tackle deep questions beyond sensory data and about human existence, such as meaning of one's life, why we have come to this world, why do we die, where do we go after death, etc. It is concerned with the ultimate truth of life. People who are high in existential intelligence may include cosmologists and philosophers. Thus, Howard Gardner suggested that intelligence is not only verbal fluency, mathematical and spatial intelligence we usually associate with the term intelligence. There are different types of intelligences which are equally important. His theory of multiple intelligences provides a broad and comprehensive view of human abilities, including spatial intelligence, musical, bodily kinesthetic, intrapersonal, interpersonal and naturalistic and existential, besides linguistic and logical mathematical abilities. Howard Gardner's approach, in fact, deals with the practical use of intelligence in different kinds of activities. Therefore, the approach is more pragmatic, or we can say purposive. Intelligence, in Howard Gardner's terms, was defined as an ability or set of abilities that permits an individual to solve problems or fashion products that are of consequence in a particular cultural setting. Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences seems to have major implications for intelligence testing. Howard Gardner argued strongly in favor of a broader assessment of intelligence. His theory of multiple intelligence have major implications for intelligence testing and identification of abilities which are not well identified by conventional intelligence quotient tests. Most standard intelligence tests contain the items relating to linguistic, logical, mathematical and spatial intelligence. They do not assess musical, bodily, kinesthetic, interpersonal or intrapersonal intelligences. 9 intelligences identified by Gardner can be nurtured separately to suit the motivation and existing environmental conditions. Dear students, to sum up, we can say that Howard Gardner proposed 9 different forms of intelligences which include linguistic, logical, mathematical, bodily, kinesthetic, musical, spatial intelligence, interpersonal, intrapersonal intelligence, natural and spiritual type of intelligences. According to Howard Gardner, the first 2 abilities, that is linguistic and logical mathematical intelligence, strongly contribute to the academic achievement in traditional school system, usually promoted more in our societies. The intelligences, namely bodily, kinesthetic, musical and spatial intelligences, are usually associated with arts and are found high among people like singers, musicians, dancers, athletes, architects, designers, actors, who really make the world beautiful with these capacities and skills. Usually these intelligences are ignored in our traditional school system, and thus many children high on these capacities remain unidentified. Howard Gardner's theory suggests that equal focus should be given to other intelligences so that opportunities are given to children to make use of their own potentials. For Howard Gardner, it is not necessary that an individual rich with linguistic and logical mathematical abilities will also show the same richness in other domains like spatial and musical abilities. According to him, each intelligence is a relatively autonomous intellectual potential capable of functioning independently of the other intelligences. For Howard Gardner, it is the particular situation or the context that decides the prominence of one type of intelligence over others. Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence model is having significant educational implications. The schools are now providing more diverse curriculum so that students with diverse abilities are helped to develop individual intelligences. The idea that there is more to intelligence than general intelligence or G alone is now very much accepted. It is further found that Gardner's model of intelligence has emphatically supported the idea of individual differences. Persons differ with respect to diverse intelligences. Everybody cannot be a good musician or mathematician, an outstanding politician or a good statesman. In the same way, we cannot find every person having excellent social and personal relationship with others. Thus, Howard Gardner's model identified specific talents and skills in individuals, and hence it becomes imperative that these specific talents and skills need to be identified and nourished among individuals. Dear students, it was all for today. I hope that you might have enjoyed the session with me. Thanks.